Okay, once again, welcome to the Daily Space. I'm Susie Murph. I am normally your producer, but today I am your person who is presenting and my script closed. So I'm trying to get my script open here. So we have some really interesting stories today for y'all. So let me go over and make sure I'm on the right slide, and I will present these for you. All right. So one of the recurring themes of this year has been that there are some places on Earth that are older than others. So in Canada, we have the Canadian Shield being super old. In Western Australia, there are places that are also really old. Just how old these different places might be is always kind of challenging to nail down because it's hard to age things. One team of researchers thinks they've been able to determine the precise and ancient age of a place called the Yarrabubba crater, which kind of makes me giggle every time I say it. This ancient impact site has been worn away across the eons, with its crater rim being eroded into the landscape. So for a while, it took them a while to realize there was even a crater there. It was that worn. It was the presence of shocked quartz, shatter cones, and tektites that originally marked this weirdly depressed landscape with a central outcrop, Barlangi Rock, as a crater. So they had to go in and you had to find all of the things that you normally find from some impact. You've got the shocked quartz, you've got the shatter cones, you've got all of these signs and go, oh, this is a crater. Yeah. So now these same materials have been used to measure the crater's age. New research from an international team of NASA and Curtin University scientists has determined that this crater is 2,229,000,000 years old. This age was determined by studying minerals that were recrystallized by the asteroid strike. Specifically, they looked at zircon and monazite. These minerals contained inclusions of uranium and lead that was from the decay of uranium. There's a specific kind of lead you can look for that. These inclusions used to precisely determine the age of these shocked materials. And that result alone is pretty cool. The paper goes on to discuss how they can use an aeromagnetic anomaly to measure the impact as having roughly 70-kilometer diameter. This was a big impact. And they also identify other cool geologic details. But while shock and destruction is always awesome, and if you've watched Pamela, you know shock and destruction is pretty awesome, this detail that's getting the most attention is how this asteroid may have radically changed the climate of our planet. So the impact is aligned in time with the end of an ice age that created low-latitude glaciers in South Africa. This Rician period glaciation may have been global in nature, but that is less well understood. While it could have been a coincidence that this Paleo-Proterozoic glacier melted away in the same couple of million years as this impact, the research team postulates that maybe the impact triggered the global warming event that melted the glaciers. So according to the team's paper in Nature, the team examined scenarios where Yarrabubba impact site could have been covered by a continental ice sheet at the time of the impact. Basically, they think the ice sheet was about 2 to 5 kilometers in thickness, and there are some really big scientific numbers here in the script to describe how much ice was there and how much was vaporized, but I'm going to skip to the summary because it's easier to read. This is like 90 trillion to 200 trillion kilograms of water being put into the atmosphere almost immediately, where it can act like a greenhouse gas, warm our world, and melt away the ice that covered at least the southern continents and perhaps the whole planet. So this was a huge event. If it happened exactly in this order, whether it happened quickly or whether it happened slowly, this was huge. That much water being put into the atmosphere definitely had a major effect on the climate of our planet at that time. So the point they're making is error bars are tricky. Basically, they don't know if this happened close together or separated in time. But it's a cool piece of science that may explain how one of our glacial ages may have ended. So this is really, really cool. All right. In some ways, the history of our solar system is nothing more than the history of water, and how water has moved between worlds, how it has and does exist in frozen and liquid form on many worlds. We're able to see the presence of water directly in images such as those photos taken by the Mars Phoenix lander that showed the sublimation of ices revealed when the lander scraped on the planet's surface. And then on many smaller worlds, such as Pluto and Europa, we see expanses of ice of many different formulations coating the surface. Directly sampling this water is generally difficult because we don't want to contaminate the water with terrestrial microbes. But one world, however, is doing what it can to make sampling easy, and that world, Enceladus, is actually flinging water into space for us with regularly erupting geysers. And you can see them on the slide here along the bottom of this planet. You can see the geysers erupting from Europa. On October 28, 2015, the Cassini mission flew through one of Enceladus's plumes. According to Southwest Research Institute researcher Dr. Christopher Glean, distinct sources of observed CO2, silica, and H2 imply mineralogically and thermally diverse environments in a heterogeneous rocky core. We suggest that the core is composed of a carbonated upper layer and a serpentinized interior. These kind of carbonites are found in sedimentary rock like limestone on Earth, and we find serpentine minerals in seafloor rocks that are rich in magnesium and iron. These kind of minerals contain many of the atoms and molecules necessary for life as we know it. And this research indicates that chemical and thermal conditions deep in Enceladus's subsurface ocean could be consistent with Enceladus being able to support life. Now, this doesn't mean it has life. It just means it could have life. And that's just kind of awesome. This new research comes from new analysis of data from the now dead Cassini mission. And it also highlights how the end of the mission doesn't mean the end of that mission's ability to make discoveries. We mention this because yesterday we aired the NASA celebration of the life and science of the Spitzer Space Telescope. This infrared observatory was one of NASA's original great observatories, and across multiple phases it has brought us images of the sky that we can't get from Earth, since our atmosphere blocks the colors of light that Spitzer is able to see. While the spacecraft is still healthy, the mission will be shut down on January 30th. This frees up budgets and resources for the upcoming James Webb Space Telescope, which is taking a lot of budget and resources from everything right now. When launched, hopefully next year, fingers crossed, this future telescope will work with the same wavelengths of light as Spitzer, and will be able to see the same things, only better, with higher resolutions and better light gathering capabilities. Until JWST is fully functional, though, we will have no capabilities to get new infrared observations. Spitzer's in a solar orbit, separate from the Earth, and it will still be out there, trailing ever farther behind the Earth in silence. I wanted to show you a couple of additional images that Spitzer has captured for us, and you can see this gorgeous galaxy. Thank you for your subscription, Sammy DeJap. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And you can see this beautiful star field, and I will have all of these images with their captions over in the blog post at dailyspace.org here in a little while this afternoon when I take the script and write everything up. But you'll be able to see some of these just gorgeous images that Spitzer has been able to do for us. Like this one. This is just absolutely beautiful. I could stare at these all day, honestly. We will miss Spitzer. And this is a reminder of just how many resources are being sunk into the James Webb Space Telescope and how many bad things will happen if it fails. If you watch Pamela regularly, you know she's pretty stressed about things and generally doesn't like to acknowledge missions until they've become successfully functional. So basically, until JWST launches and provides us with good images, I think astronomers will all periodically find their hearts pounding or be holding their breath as they think about all the things that need to go right for JWST to work. So we'll miss you, Spitzer. So long, and thank you for all the science. Well, that rounds out our show for today. I appreciate so much you listening. Don't worry, I'll take your questions in just a minute. Let me do this little spiel. The Daily Space is produced by me, Susie Merv, and is a production of the Planetary Science Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit dedicating to exploring our solar system and beyond. We are here thanks to the generous contributions of people like you. Want to become a supporter? Join us over at patreon.com/CosmoQuestX. And don't forget, we have a podcast version of this, as well as these shows are all archived over on YouTube. So if you miss our show on twitch.tv, you can join us over at youtube.com/c/CosmoQuest. All right, now I'm going to move my window so I can see the chat. Let me put the chat up on the screen, remembering to do all the things. All right. Somebody let me know if there's a bunch of questions up above. I'm kind of scrolling back, but it hops very quickly for me. I'm not really seeing any before. So if anybody has any questions now, feel free to ask. And it doesn't have to just be about the science we talked about today. You're welcome to ask questions about production. You're welcome to ask questions about what Dr. Pamela and Annie are really like. They're really fun to ride roller coasters with. You're welcome to ask questions about me going purple next week. That should be pretty cool. I'm going to go a reddish purple because the red looks better on my skin than a blue purple. So I will say that, but it will be purple, I promise. Monday I won't have it yet, just so you know. When I do Monday stream, my pink will be fading out. But by the stream after that, I will definitely be purple because my appointment's on Wednesday. My stylist doesn't work on Monday, and I didn't get one for this weekend. I need time to talk with her and figure out how to do it because she may have to lighten my hair a good bit before we put the purple in, and I need to figure out all of that. So love my stylist, so we're going to go and spend some time Wednesday morning. Why am I going purple? Raj Luther is asking. I am going purple because all of you fine folks have donated over $10,000 to us for the operation and running of CosmoQuest. And that was the deadline we had set. We had set if we hit $10,000 before the end of January, I will go purple. So we hit that the other day. I believe Annie let me know in the middle of the night, early, like 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. She pinged me and said, oh my gosh, you can go purple now. And so we were very excited. CosmoQuest, what audio editing software do you use? Different ones of us use different bits of equipment. I actually use Audacity. Dr. Pamela uses the Adobe Audition software. And I'm not sure what Annie uses, but we use different things. I am going to be switching to the Adobe Audition. Mostly, I wanted to learn Premiere Pro Video, the Adobe Premiere Pro video editing software first. And I've got that running for all of our video applications. So then I will go and I will learn the audio version. But yeah, right now it's kind of, okay, Audacity's not broken and I know how to get things done in it pretty quickly, so I use that. Yeah, Paranor says he uses SoundForge, which is great. I like Audacity. I have used it since 2008, different versions of it. So it's pretty sturdy and stable. And I'm on a PC, whereas Pamela's on a Mac. So that's one reason we use different software a lot of times. But I'm going to be switching over because we do have the Adobe suite of things. And if it is easy to use once you've gotten the hang of it as the Premiere Pro video software is, that would be great. If I have, just settings set up in it. Yeah. I used Audacity before Adobe bought it, and it was called Cool Edit. Ah, I did not know that, Paranor. That was a while back. So it's not going to be purple like the ladies of the moon base in the 70s series UFO, the gym doctor asks. No, I don't. I'll have to go look that up to see exactly what shade of purple that is. But no, I'm going to go like a reddish purple, like my shirt, but a little more purple. But if I go a blue purple, it makes me look pale and dead. So I'm going to go reddish purple. But it will be purple. Raj Luther says, NASA is asking the public to choose from a list of 9 names to call NASA's Mars rover. Have I chosen one? I have not. I need to go and look at the list and see what the finalists were. I saw that press release. I saw that press release come through, so I need to go and check it and vote. But I gotta admit, I kind of like the sentimental names when stuff is happening, or the really kind of profound ones like Sojourner and Curiosity and stuff like that. But I also like it when they're named after really cool people. And I have a soft spot for when they're named after really cool women who may not have been appreciated as much during their time. Like the women in Hidden Figures. That was a great story, and it was great that quite a lot of that was the way it happened. So I do appreciate that. Let's see. I'm looking to see okay, Hanny's Warwork says, how many great observatories are still functioning? That is a very good question that I do not know the answer to, but that is one. I can pass that one along to Dr. Pamela, and she could answer that tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure she would have to look that one up too. I don't feel so bad about that one, because I figure she's probably got to just check and look it up. But I can pass that one on to her as well. Yeah, Raj Luther says, I completely agree with the names on the Mars rover. Yep. Yeah, my daughter is studying engineering, so I really love it when she's got some really awesome role models out there to be able to look up to, and I'm glad we're hearing about these things more. We just got the issue of my daughter goes to Auburn University, and that's where I graduated and my husband did and all. And we just got the issue of the Auburn Engineering Department magazine, basically, and they talked about how many people from that department had significant roles in the original moon landing project, and how the first words on the moon were almost War Eagle, which if you know about Auburn, that's our fight chant. So it's really cool to go back and learn history and find out what people you've never heard of in the modern, in pop culture, what people contributed, and finding out you have connections with that. So it's really cool for my daughter to be there and be studying in these places and to be interacting with all these cool people that have done so much through history. Katherine Johnson, Mars Exploration Rover. Yeah, that would be amazing. And she's still alive. So to do something like that for someone while they're still alive would be awesome. Because, recognizing people posthumously is great, but recognizing them when they're alive and they can appreciate it, that's what you should do. Matter of fact, my New Year's resolution this year, not related exactly to that, but has been to tell people how much they mean to me in person more. And that has been the most popular resolution when I tell people that I've ever done. And so it's a good one. Tell people how much you appreciate them while they're alive. That's a big deal. Raj Luther says he chose perseverance. He checked the definition to make sure he knew what each one meant and went with perseverance. That's a very good one. I've got to go look at that list because I don't know what is all on there, but perseverance is definitely how we're going to make progress in the future. Ed Thompson says, Katherine Johnson is awesome. Would love to see that be the name. Yes, I would too. She did amazing things. And she's not the only one. There are a lot of people out there who did a lot of amazing things. And we should recognize them, especially while they're alive. Oh yeah. And while it popped up in chat, we have some cool stuff. If you want to buy it over in Redbubble, please do. All of that goes to support us and everything we do here. We didn't make what we needed to make during our Hangout-a-thon to be able to go all year this year with no fundraisers. So we're going to be looking for additional ways to bring in more income, and that goes to pay my salary, Annie's salary. It goes to pay Dr. Pamela, although she doesn't take a full salary. She deserves one, but she doesn't take one. So anything that you can do to help support us is greatly appreciated. Even if it's just telling your friends to follow us here or to subscribe to our channel over on YouTube. We're about 40 subscribers short of being able to do ads on YouTube, and that would be a big help. So if you have extra YouTube sign-ins, please feel free to go over there and subscribe to CosmoQuest X. I think we need about 40 more subscribers, and people need to have watched about 600 more hours of video before we meet the minimum requirement. So if you want to leave your TV streaming on a playlist at some point, we won't mind that at all a bit. I'm shameless. I'll ask for this stuff. Pamela won't ask you for this stuff, but I will. So yeah, if we can get that up over on YouTube, then we can start earning some YouTube ad revenue. But all of you that are here, and especially all of you that are subscribed, get to watch stuff here without ads. So perks for you. Trying to think, what else do we have? Basically, like, subscribe, share with your friends, bug everybody you know to subscribe, give us subscriptions here on Twitch, or follows, likes, all that stuff. It's all helpful, and it does add up. The bits, the cheers, everything that you do in Twitch does start to add up. So even if you can only help a little by telling your friends, that is helpful. All right, I am looking. Does anybody have any additional questions? Because if not, I will go ahead and wrap this up and go get started on the blog post. Don't forget, you can always find these blog posts over at dailyspace.org. We put up basically the script. We take the script, I make it a blog post, I put the pictures in it, and we put it up every day. So if there was something you were listening to while I was talking and you're like, wait a minute, I want more information at that, you can go over there. Later this afternoon, I'll have this post up. It'll have all the links to the stories we did. It'll have all that scientific notation and all the words that I might have mispronounced in there, and you can find it. Oh yes, you can also list PSI in Amazon Smile. PSI is a great organization to sponsor. They are working hard to take care of us. The Amazon Smile will go just to PSI in general, though. So it's not directly to CosmoQuest, but PSI is a great organization to support, and they do a lot to help us. And they are always looking for ways to use us one way or another. They're really trying hard to find ways to pay us to do stuff. So they're fabulous. We love them. Thank you for your subscriptions in YouTube, Michael and Ed Thompson and everybody over there. Anybody who has just, however many Gmail accounts you have, you get a YouTube subscription list with each one of those. I'll admit I've got about 5 or 6 just from various podcasts and things I've had with my kids growing up and stuff. I've gone and subscribed with every one of them. So yeah, work the numbers a little, but hey, it's good. I did just get, last week I got all of the Hangout-a-thon videos up finally. You know, holidays slowed me down, kidney stone slowed me down a little bit, but we finally got about 40 hours of Hangout-a-thon video up there. 40 different videos anyway. About 40 videos. There were a few that combined. But they should all be listed, and the ones that are like interviews and things like that, they will have that in the title and description. So if there's something particular you want to go back and look for, there's a whole playlist over there for you guys to check out. Michael says, I only have one Gmail account. Seems to cause trouble if I try to open another one. You have to be careful how you link it to things. Generally, I have email accounts for various podcasts I've had in the past and things like that. So, yeah. Haney's Word says, ouch, kidney stones. Yes, I got a kidney stone for New Year's. That was not fun. But I'm okay. And it passed, and it's all good. It just was uncomfortable. And apparently I'd been having it a little bit since Thanksgiving because I was having pain, and it just finally got to the pain wasn't going away. But it passed, and I'm doing okay. So we're just watching to make sure I don't have any more, but at least it was small. I've lost a lot of weight in this past year. I had bariatric surgery, and so I've done a dramatic weight loss, and kidney stones are one of the things that can happen. So my bariatric doctor was like, I'm so sorry. And I told him, I said, don't worry. Everything else that has happened good because of my surgery has been worth it. I can handle a kidney stone or two. It's all good. So thank you all for your support. And that is one reason why you can see me on screen now. Because I feel better, I'm doing better, and I'm not embarrassed to be on camera. So Pamela's starting to pull me into all kinds of things. And we are talking about potentially doing some shows where maybe I interview some scientists, like from Planetary Science Institute or other places. Nancy, Annie, and Pamela tell me I'm pretty good at interviews. I don't know yet. I just like talking to people. So we're going to start doing some of that. And then Pamela's going to occasionally do some deep dives on various topics when we have slow news days. So look for that. We're doing some planning. Feel free to give us ideas about topics that you may be interested in. And yeah, we're hoping to start bringing you even more content, especially now that I'm up and streaming and hopefully things are looking good and running well. Yes, Veronica Cure says, so glad you're feeling better and in your skin in general. Yes, I feel 30 years younger. I have the energy of a college student, and I feel like my personality is back. So it was a great thing. And I'm not diabetic, and my blood pressure is much better, in addition to, all that stuff. So it was very worth it for me. It's not the choice for everybody, but it was very worth it for me. And you can ask Pamela and Annie, because I was still going pretty well after that day at Disney where we walked 12 miles. I would never have been able to do that a year ago. So, yeah. So hopefully I bought myself a little time to be around, watch my kids grow up. Fingers crossed. Well, all right, let everybody go. I'm going to go do the blog post. You guys have a great day. I'm going to try to roll the credits, but I think my credits are not set up properly. So if they're not rolling, I'll cut it off pretty fast, and I'll just put them in post. Thank you, everybody. Dr. Pamela will be here tomorrow, and we will have an astronomy cast tomorrow afternoon with Fraser. So I think they're talking about multi-messenger something. We have the title in there, and they mentioned it this morning, and now I don't remember. Thank you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.